So recently there was a internet personality, let's just call it that. It's very large, the largest of the automotive internet personalities. It was answering some questions. The question that was asked went something like this. Well, so and so, I'd like to know why every time I fill my gas up, my vehicle stumbles and stalls and it takes a few minutes for it to clear up and then everything's fine after that. Somebody brought it to my attention that they had attempted to fix the vehicle the way the general recommendation of what the problem is, this person spoke about, and it didn't do anything. It didn't fix anything. It's because when I went and checked out the video of what such and such person was saying, internet personality, very large, the largest of the automotive YouTubers, without saying the person's name, you should know who that is. I went and checked it out for myself, and sure enough, it was like complete BS. It was just nothing to get people to come in, listen to what he had to say, and stuff like that. And it was a very, very poor put out answer for such a generic problem. And I said, oh, wait a second. It's not, it has nothing to do with an evap box. It has nothing to do with the carbon canister box or charcoal canister. It has nothing to do with that. It's if you're filling up your vehicle and it's pushing raw fumes out of the tank through the lines, through the evap box into the motor, it's because the purge valve is hung open a little bit. It's not closed all the way. That's the only way those raw vapors can actually get into the motor. Nothing to do with the carbon canister. So why are we making these general recommendations on where to start very poorly? Sent this person in the wrong direction. They wasted a bunch of time. I thought about it for a little bit, and when Nathan was over yesterday, and I was picking up his Panther. He had a town car that he junked because it had over 500,000 miles. I was buying his brand new Blizzaks and rims from him. I had talked about it briefly with him, and I said, you know what, I want to clear this up. A lot of people are going to these big YouTubers with big numbers and stuff like that, and they're thinking that they're getting the best advice for YouTube free, and they're not. They're being deceived by people. It took every bit of an hour for this person to be looking at the vehicle to realize that what such and such person said was completely wrong. It's not the charcoal canister or the carbon canister underneath the vehicle. When you typically go fill up gas and the vehicle stumbles afterwards, and after a few moments it starts up. If you look at my previous videos, you'll see I have like a 1.6 liter or something Chevy Cruze or something like this is happening. In the past, a friend of mine was saying, hey, every time I put gas in the car, I go to start the car up and it cranks and cranks and cranks and cranks, and finally then it goes, or it runs poorly for a few minutes, and then sometimes I even get an O2 light set in a check engine, or a check engine light set with an oxygen sensor code. I'm like, sounds to me like you got a stuck open purge valve, because even if there was another component bad in line, the only way that you would be able to get that vapor to the motor is if the purge valve is stuck open. It's not a carbon canister or charcoal canister. It's a very expensive item. 99.9% of the time in this situation, whenever you're filling up gas, if it stumbles, it hesitates, it runs poorly for a few, 30 seconds or whatever, a couple minutes, it's the purge valve. That's just common general automotive knowledge. But a lot of people don't pay attention to that. And this person gave some very poor recommendations to millions of followers based on what he was saying. And it's been eating at me for a few days, and I thought I would cover it. This is where you look first. You look to the purge valve first. You don't go look at some $600 or $800 charcoal canister, carbon canister, because, of course, there could be faults there for other reasons, but that's not going to cause a stumbling, starting issue and running poorly for the first few minutes. That's not going to cause that. So he made very, very poor recommendation. And it just goes to show a lot of people do this stuff more for entertainment and clout, and they don't really so much know exactly what they're talking about. until you get to somebody like me and other people on here that do this every single day, that have to deal with random different cars and real life problems instead of just a bunch of emails coming in, that are currently active in the field, that can stay up on the knowledge. And maybe it's something that slipped and it was just a poorly put out recommendation. I don't know. But this is the actual issues. Nine times out of 10, 99.9% of the time, it's a purge valve issue. Thanks, guys.